Welcome to this video about finding copywriting clients. And if you're desperate for clients, maybe even client number one, I totally know the pain. I'm no superhuman myself, and I have plenty of flaws and things that were getting in the way of me getting my first client, but I managed to get client number one and clients after that, number two, number three, number four, and so on. So you can do it too, absolutely. Now, I may not have all the answers in what I'm sharing here today, but I might be able to give you some direction. So I'm going to do two things. Firstly, I'm going to introduce myself and share a little of my experiences, particularly the experience of getting my first client. And the second thing I'm going to do is to share about two specific places that I'm comfortable with finding clients and have some success on, namely Upwork and LinkedIn. But the ways are quite different. And whatever you've heard about Upwork, hold your judgment until I've shared a little bit about that. I'm not going to be talking about applying for full-time jobs or anything like that, but many of the things I talk about, particularly in terms of principles, still apply in terms of getting attention and speaking to needs. So you may find that helpful if you are looking for full-time employment. So let's go. Let's get going with finding copywriting clients with the emphasis on finding. And so it's about taking some action to do it by heading outwards, by reaching out. It's not about being passive or doing things like setting up your LinkedIn profile or a website and then just waiting for clients to flood your way. Okay, this is about stepping out. This is for if you are needing clients now, or as soon as possible. So a little bit about myself. When I was starting out, the reason was because I started out as a copywriter, freelance copywriter, because I had burnout. And this was after the COVID lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. So we're into 2021, and early in the year there, I just crashed and burned. There was just a lot of life and work stuff that had been going on the previous year and just totally burnt out. So by the end of 2021, I had to start looking at what next. And so I investigated writing. I've done a lot of writing in the past and a lot of education and whatnot. So I eventually, poked around and discovered that copywriting sounded like a good option for me. So I did some copywriting courses, mainly with AWAI. Through those courses, I also got a couple of groups together. There were sort of support groups for other people doing the courses, and so I started making some connections there, which was fantastic. But around that same time as getting those groups together was when I started with Upwork. Now, Upwork, if you're not familiar, is a job site for freelancers. And so I sent off a few proposals and got my first client in my first week or so of doing that. Now, this was about 3 or 4 months after I'd finished my first copywriting course, and I'd been calling myself a copywriter for months before that as well. Now, I had major self-doubt and all the other head trash sort of stuff going on. So my steps, my timeline will be different to someone else's. Some might be much quicker and others perhaps not. So I'm going to zoom through the next couple of years, but it basically went like this. I focused on and niched down really on email copywriting, got myself some e-commerce clients. That was through Upwork, made my offer being full service Klaviyo email marketing. So that's done for you, one-stop shop kind of stuff. And then after that, later on, I started building my own client list thing, my daily email list, and then I've started turning more attention to connecting with people on LinkedIn during that time. And I've had some work come through LinkedIn, through that relating to people there, and particularly around coaching and connecting with other freelancers. So I don't look at Upwork nearly as much as I used to, focusing on growing my list and building my own products. So that's a little bit of my story, and that's the very quick, fleeting view. In a moment, I'm going to share a couple of specific things about Upwork and LinkedIn, and just going through those platforms and some of their pluses and minuses. So Upwork's a platform where clients advertise jobs and freelancers write proposals to try and land them. It seems to be one of those things you either love it or hate it. And for people who have strong feelings either way, I'm actually a bit more in the middle. I think it's a great platform for finding client work and for starting out on, and particularly for finding client number one. And so that brings me to the pluses, the plus side of Upwork. Firstly, number one thing, which I think is the biggest and best thing above all, is that the clients are there and ready with jobs. They're ready to buy a solution to their problem. They're just needing to connect with the right person. And so I'll talk a little bit about some suggestions there about how to do that connecting. Some other pluses that Upwork has its own terms and conditions, its own payment systems and things. So it takes a lot of the hassle off you, especially when starting out. You don't have to get every single aspect of your business locked down or worked out. You can kind of just slot in with Upwork's way of doing things. So some minuses are that your eggs are in one walled garden basket, so to speak. So if you are just getting clients on Upwork and for whatever reason you get kicked off Upwork or Upwork decides to go to business, you're locked out. So that's a bit of a problem, to say the least. But best advice is to certainly start out there, but look for other avenues for clients as well. When you're starting off talking with clients, there are restrictions on contacting them, so you have to stay within the Upwork realm until you've secured a contract with them. And you must stay on the platform for 2 years or else you face heavy exit penalties. You have to buy your way out if you want to move your client off the platform. So I've found that power is more tilted in favor of clients. It's a little bit harder in the sales process, I find, to do things your own way because you're locked into certain patterns that you have to follow, particularly the staying within the Upwork ecosystem when you're first contacting clients. You can't do your own discovery calls and things like that. You have to stay within Upwork and do Zoom through their platform. There's also the 10% Upwork tax. So every job that you do will have 10% commission paid to Upwork. So that's the what they take for basically providing the platform and connecting clients with service providers. And you also have to be quite discerning with rubbish jobs and scams. There's people on there who will kind of be advertising for a job, but it's just so they can get you to write a proposal, and they'll take that proposal and send it to an actual job. So a little bit of discernment, but you usually discover how to sniff those out fairly quickly. So a little bit of strategy for Upwork, having a targeted profile that really pinpoints your focus area and how you can help clients is really key. But the biggest, most important thing is proposal writing and writing proposals that speak to your client's needs. So you can kind of forget about all the courses you've done and writing about how awesome they were and all these skills you've got. They're secondary to your client's problem. So be a copywriter when writing them. Persuade and deal with objections. But like with any marketing, you have to persist with things. And so there's different thoughts about this, but my suggestion is writing 3 to 5 proposals a day for Upwork jobs and keeping that momentum up. You're not going to win every proposal you write, but remember these proposals, they're not big, epic, long things. You can potentially write a proposal in 20 minutes or less, or even 10 minutes or less. But some may take a little bit longer if you're doing a little bit more research. So just putting the time in and the effort in is a good strategy. And the other thing that I like to do is leveraging the testimonials that I get. So when you have testimonials from a client who's really happy, then taking those and using them in future proposals, saying, hey, I've just done this job for a client and this is what they said, or I can take those testimonials and put them on my website. And so that's just some of the strategy I use. So that's just a few things, but remember, writing proposals is the key skill. And look, if you plug away writing proposals and don't get any jobs, just the fact you're writing every day and honing your persuasion skills is wonderful payback for doing that particular thing. So I think that's an excellent use of your time. But of course, you want to get clients. So plugging away is the way to do it. Second thing is LinkedIn. So I've used LinkedIn a little bit. I'm on there a lot every day, but in terms of getting clients and what have you, more recently. So LinkedIn is social media with more business focus. So you'll find more SaaS companies and education companies and whatever else, they're business focused. People who are more maybe course creators and so on, you might find on Facebook. And so, different groups, different industries tend to gravitate to different platforms. And so what I'm going to say here pretty much applies to Facebook as well, but I haven't used Facebook really at all for client outreach. But I know other people have for email marketing and other things with a lot of success. So the pluses for LinkedIn. With LinkedIn, the world really is your oyster. There's no restrictions on when you can contact people. You can make whatever contact you want, really. There are some little things with connecting with people who may not be in your network, but there are ways to get around that by investing a bit of money with a professional premium version of LinkedIn and being able to send messages to anyone. And there's specific industry and skill related groups, so you can really focus down on the kind of industries and the kind of clients that you want to work with. So a minus is that you're on your own. You have to manage everything when it comes to the payments and contracts and all these things related to your business. So it does pay to have all those ducks in a row when you get onto LinkedIn and start talking with clients. So you're not having to just whip things up at the last minute and perhaps not have thought through all the ramifications of some of those things. So perhaps have to be a little bit more prepared when you're looking for clients on LinkedIn. So just some strategy things. Certainly belong to and engage in groups where your clients are. Don't try and get copywriting work in groups where copywriters hang out. That's just going to be a big echo chamber. Maybe a great place for maybe support and comparing notes and what have you, but not a place where you're necessarily going to have much luck finding clients. You want to go into industry groups or skill-based groups to look for people who are looking for help. People will say, hey, I'm needing some help with da-da-da, or I'm confused by this and da-da-da, and you can offer your expertise. So do answer when prospects say there's a problem. Show empathy, that you understand where they're coming from, the problem, the pain. Demonstrate your knowledge and offer help. And that help might be, hey, I've written something about this, or look, I'm happy to have a chat about this. Do you want to jump on a call, or do you want to have a quick DM about it? But do ask first. Don't go rushing straight to the DMs. So the other thing is, again, being regular about it. Maybe spending 30 minutes a day in groups and commenting and looking for ways to help. But if you take that helping first, that serving first approach, that's the way that business works, really, is serve first and the rewards will come. So that's a little bit of strategy on LinkedIn. It's look, there's plenty more to say about the platform and about Upwork as well. But it's just giving some pointers that might help you think about some of the differences about the two platforms, but ways that you can approach them. Maybe some food for thought there. And like I said, Facebook group strategy is very similar. Look for industry groups that you can join, and you can offer help in and be part of the community. Right, so just some general advice I want to finish with. So firstly is go where your ideal clients are. So if your ideal clients right now are those ready with work, then maybe Upwork is a great place to start. Maybe not worrying about niching down, but focusing on getting some initial jobs and work that you can then build through testimonials, build through your experience. But maybe those connections with those initial clients will open doors to other opportunities, maybe for future work with those particular clients because they've experienced how you've helped them and given them a great experience working with you. But also there's an opportunity for referrals. You can say, hey, look, do you know other business owners who need this sort of thing, or who are looking for XYZ service that you're providing? So those initial connections, even if you do $100 job on Upwork and Upwork takes $20 of that and what have you, or $10 of that, the thing is that job can be leveraged to other things through those referrals, through testimonials, and through the experience that you've gained. And so, yeah, go where your ideal clients are. If your ideal clients perhaps have more budget and are focused on a specific industry, you might find greater success focusing on somewhere like LinkedIn or Facebook. Do stand out. Don't be a generic service provider. Don't be a generic person. So leave your sort of I'm this and I'm that and I've got these credentials and da-da-da. Leave that at the door. Just come as a human being who can help, who's sharing their know-how and experience, which means you kind of need to take on board and make it part of your comfort zone, being empathetic with clients, really understanding and showing that you understand and care for their problems, as well as demonstrating how you can solve them. You're a copywriter, you're trained, you have the toolkit to do this, to show empathy, to show how you can solve problems, to show how what you offer is the best solution to deal with objections. Now it's yeah, so the key thing is to start with the prospect and their needs. Okay, it's not about, hi, I'm Chris, I'm the world's best copywriter and you should hire me because I'm this and that. No. It's I see where the problem lies. I've helped someone else solve this, or I know how to solve the problem, etc. Starting with their needs. Now, it is helpful if you have a productized service ready to go. Now, this might not always apply if you're going for a specific Upwork job, but on LinkedIn or Facebook, you can target common client needs. For example, if someone's needing a course funnel built or an opt-in process for an email list, you might have a package ready to go. So productized service is really a service that you can buy off the shelf. So someone pays you $1,000 and they get this package with XYZ included. Okay, it can help clients to more clearly see the value that you provide. But it also shows that you've thought through what you offer. You can show them how you've done this before, even if it's for your own website or whatever, or just samples that you've created. It takes the stress off you, so you're not customizing something and working out the price every single time you do the same kind of project. Now, I know a productized service is often viewed as not a beginner sort of thing to do, that you just sort of get out there and get some hourly rate work or whatever it is. But I actually tend to disagree. If I was to go back and start again, I would totally from the get-go have a productized service, because it's much easier to sell. And often that whole selling process is the thing that can really trip us up, because we're not used to selling things we can offer, or showing clients how our services meet their needs. Also, selling can be just an awkward place to be, and dealing with objections and things like that, or clients coming back and saying, hey, that's too expensive, and us going, okay, do I discount, do I stand my ground, all those sort of things. But look, if it's a productized service, the price is the price. And so that kind of thing can make it a lot easier. Of course, it can give you much more confidence that you know what you're offering, you know the value you're offering, and you can just have those easier conversations. Look, here's how I can help you. I've got this product that can meet those needs. Here's the price. When would you like to start? Now, it's not going to be as simple as that, but in many ways, that's the process. So Look, consider productized service. I think it's worth putting a little bit of thought into, even as you're getting going. Right, so that's the end of the presentation now, and so I just want to say, hey, thanks for being here. It's just been short, and the point of this is just to give you some ideas for finding copywriting clients. I'm sharing some of the things I've found helpful in getting going with finding my first clients and continuing to work with clients. I mean, I still work with clients on Upwork. I still have a retainer client there, and have had other work this year doing email marketing system build outs and things. So, but like I said, I'm turning my attention a bit more to building my business and my email list and building my own products. So, but look, if I was starting again, I think I would go to Upwork, to be honest, to get that initial experience and to go where clients are ready to get going. So if you have any questions, I'll just put up my website link. If you go to milham.me, so milham.me, that's a shortcut to getting to my chrismilham.com website. Now, if you head to that link there, you'll find links for getting in touch with me, just whether it's through LinkedIn or you can email me. If you've got any questions about this presentation or about getting clients in general, more than happy to talk with you about those. So you might be able to offer some additional help or pointers, or point you in the direction of perhaps other people or other courses, or whether it's YouTube video or something that I'm aware of that you might find some extra information and support for your particular questions or your particular direction you're heading in with getting clients. So look, thank you very much for being here, and all the very best with finding clients.